Support my content by becoming a patron on patreon.com/JaianMusic. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. No thunder stealing. Today we have an explosive topic, one that's been on the Google Docs topic list for about a month, maybe not that long. It's a brand new topic we thought of, and I have Hotshot with me. Hotshot, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about art is an explosion, meaning just several different types of explosions that happen in animes, be it a huge flashy move or just someone erupting into bloody little bits. Basically, everything that catches your eye in a fiery explosion of death is what we're talking about. Because why? Explosions are awesome.
Explosions are awesome. This is going to be the podcast that we don't pick data or we did something wrong, basically. So,
now watch, one of these picks are going to be data red because it has to be.
It has to be. We'll see. Spoiler alert. Anyways, guys, so Hotshot, what went into your list when you were picking 3 anime explosions? We're picking 3 each. What went into your list as you were, putting together this very intellectual list?
Initially, I was trying to make it so like there was at least one death in the explosion, but
okay,
that quickly fell apart. So what I went with were anti-hero explosions. Like, anti-heroes have to be the ones that are causing it. Like, it could end up changing the course of the fight. It could be the end of the fight. It could just be something that I decided to do because why? But anti-heroes have to be at the core of it. They have to be the ones who started the explosion.
Okay, so for me, I wanted something that just resonates with me, like funny moments, incredibly deep moments. I just wanted my picks to be very various, and also, to me, it's not just about the explosion, Hotshot, but it's about the journey to the explosion. How did we get here? Why do we need an explosion here? And this way, we can really have a great podcast. My picks are
I already have
ridiculous.
An answer for you. See the previous explanation for it. Explosions are awesome, so they belong everywhere.
Yes, I mean, if this goes well, we can do it 2.0. Anyway, enough podcasting about this. Let's go right into the topic.
Into
the topic. Yes, enough podcasting. Let's do some more podcasting. Hotshot, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first? I'll let you choose, buddy, because you're my best buddy ever.
I'll go first on this one.
No, I wanted to go first. Come on, are you serious? No, that's not what you're supposed to. You're supposed to be like, oh, that was nice of you to offer, but I'm a kind person, so I'm gonna let you go first, Giant.
It's nice of you to offer, and I plan to take malicious intent, so I'm going to take that offer ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and go first. And this explosion, well, I know well, fans of this series know well, even though it happens in a saga that people tend to not like. I'm picking the explosion, or to be more specific, I'm picking Vegeta's final explosion in the Majin Buu arc.
Oh, damn. You just went for the big one.
I just went for the big one. I was fighting between this and Namek's explosion or the Cybermen versus Yamcha explosion. But no, I'm going for...
Stop spoiling my list like that.
But no, I'm going for Vegeta's final explosion in an attempt to destroy Buu. And the reason why I'm going with it is because throughout the entire Buu arc, Vegeta is just this constant dick. Like, he's gotten used to life on Earth. He has Trunks as a son. He's married to Bulma. And he's basically lost this pride of being the Saiyan prince and this ruthless killer of warrior race. And in order to get that feeling back, he allows himself to be taken over by Babidi, kills a bunch of people, fights Goku at his max power. But then, in the last attempt to gain control of his true self, he kamikazes himself and tries to eradicate Buu completely. And doing that in such a selfless way, especially that's the first time that he hugs Trunks. He shoos him away. He's basically saying, if I'm going to hell, taking you with me, kind of thing. And then just a massive explosion that doesn't even leave Vegeta a body. He's just completely gone. And
evaporated, nothing remains.
Right. And almost works for Buu. If Buu didn't have regeneration, then that would have completely obliterated him. But ultimately it was completely pointless. But at the same time, just seeing Vegeta go that far, and honestly, the kamikaze is one of my favorite moves in Dragon Ball. And yeah, Final Explosion, honestly, much better name. And Kamikaze, I think it's just what it's referenced to in GT, and it's used by like everybody. But I just really love this explosion. I may not love the entire Boo arc, but I do love that very defined character moment for Vegeta.
All I'm gonna say is those Majins, those 4 Beyond the VS Battles Wiki Majin Boos are very hard to get rid of. So I can understand why he regenerated. But in all seriousness, I love this attack, and I'm going to take a stand here and say this is 100% Vegeta's strongest attack.
Yeah,
this is Vegeta's strongest attack. It's not Final Flash. It's not anything else. I really think that this is his strongest attack.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna back you up. I was gonna argue for Final Flash being his strongest move, but no, it's completely Final Explosion. Like, I mean, he used it here against Boo when he was Super Saiyan 2, right?
Yes.
Like a Super Saiyan 2 Final Explosion. Can you imagine what a Super Saiyan Blue's Final Explosion would be?
Bro, just watch the Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super. You'll see what it is.
Okay, well, fucking, okay. I'm almost there. Yeah. I swear, I'm actually almost there. They're recruiting the team right now.
Good. Well, they recruited the team years ago, but I understand what you mean.
Well, they're recruiting the team for me right now.
Yeah. Maybe I kind of spoiled something there, but dude,
I mean, you already told me that he uses Final Explosion in the tournament, and it doesn't kill him. Like, you've told me that he does do that. I just didn't know he did it in blue.
You'll see how it goes down.
I'll see how it goes. But really, what else can I say about that? I don't know if it's in blue,
but it's like it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But really, what else can I say about the OG one other than that is my favorite Vegeta moment, like where I feel like he grows the most, and just seeing him completely eviscerate himself to try and save the Earth, like his transition basically from a I'll help out occasionally to I'm doing this for someone other than myself kind of thing. Like, it's that full transition to him actually becoming a hero of Earth. And that's why I love that moment so much.
Oh my god. And apparently it has like a bunch of alternate names, like Final Atonement, Final Blast Bomb, Final Effort, Final Attack, I'll blow you to pieces, Last Final Trick, Suicide, Desperate Attack, Ultimate Final Attack, Ultimate Sacrifice, Attack to End All Attacks. And my favorite alternate name for this technique is Boom! Exclamation point. Exclamation point. That's the name for it apparently.
I'm just calling it Final Explosion, and I'm choosing that. That's just what I'm going with.
All right. My first pick.
I think it's your turn.
Yeah. Now, okay. My first pick is about the journey, and this is coming straight from Naruto. And Kakashi Hatake taught a technique, a very powerful technique to Naruto that did more damage to Gaara than Sasuke could ever have done. And I am talking about 1,000 Years of Death, Kunai, Tag Bomb, the classic, when Naruto's going out against them in the whole Sand Sound Alliance versus the Leaf Village. And he goes...
Go ahead, sorry.
I just want to say, like, when he's, like, shining straight from the teachings of Kakashi Hatake, and he just plugs a kunai, everyone's like, are you... No, that's... No, and then he gets whacked by the tail, and then he just goes boom, and just, like... Gaara eats it, bro.
You have no idea how close this one actually was almost on my list, just because I really wanted to talk about it.
Dude, I got you on that humorous pick.
I'm glad you have this. I'm glad you have this one.
It's hilarious. This is a great attack that, it's about the journey. It's not about the explosion. The explosion's cool, all right, but it's really the fact that, you got a super strong monster and you're pulling out that technique of all techniques,
It's really about like the intent and the action more so than the actual like flashy explosion. Because I mean, hell, imagine if he did this on like literally anyone else. Like, imagine if he did this on Sakura, not a tailed beast, but just a regular fellow ninja shoving a kunai up their ass with a paper bomb. That is not a thing you can do to normal people.
It's gonna be so painful, and I don't even want to imagine. It just. This like technique is just nothing to.
Yeah, at least Kakashi showed restraint and just gave you a prostate exam, and that was really the extent of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I can say about this technique but that, honestly.
I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's a kunai with a paper bomb. It's amazing, but oh my god, imagining it on other people is just not okay.
What's your next pick?
All right, so just going off straight away. All right,
Well,
so
yeah, I think so, yeah.
this is a more recent one. An anime that after about a year talking to me about, you finally got me to watch, and I did not stop watching it until then. It's from My Hero Academia, and it's in the sponsorship tournament. So where they're doing the one-on-one fights, the maze, the cavalry battle, all that, and it's Bakugo versus Uraraka. It's when Uraraka is using her
Oh my
final
gosh.
meteor slam, and Bakugo completely obliterates it.
Oh my gosh, like the one where it's blasted up in the air, right?
Yeah, where he blasts everything
Oh
up when
yes,
she's
yes,
bringing
yes.
everything down onto him.
Oh my
So,
god.
in order to build that explosion up, Uraraka stayed low, using Bakugo's explosions to rip up the entire stage, and then finally lift everything in an attempt to drop it all on him like a meteor or like a meteor shower. And Bakugo actually says that if she had had just a little bit more, he doesn't know if he would actually have been able to stop it. But it was just a complete blast of shooting up hard into the sky and completely obliterating her. Basically, her ultimate move, what she was trying to do to him. And it was just so beautiful to see. I wanted Uraraka to win so bad because I love Uraraka so much and I hate Bakugo so much, but I can't help but love this moment. Like, Bakugo, as much of a dick as he is, I love his quirk. I love the fact that, like, he basically sweats napalm and uses it and ignites it for his explosions. I completely love that about him, but he himself is such a dick.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And the thing is too, with the whole Bakugo thing, that's his quirk, and that's what he does, and he just puts it to use so well. And I mean, he evaluated the situation, and he had like a split second decision to make, and he did it, and good on him for that. But still, like, I think that some of the best explosions in My Hero Academia are from his quirk for sure. Like, this is totally a valuable pick that you have to respect. And the thing is, I feel like the battle between him and Uraraka really culminates at this very point where you just see him just put it all like this, and this was her final plan. This was like what she was aiming to do as she was, attacking and everything. These pieces build it up in the air with her gravity quirk, and finally she's about to slam down on him, but it all literally blows up in her face because Bakugo he's a fighter, right? So he evaluated it, he knew what to do, and he made a decision, and you got to respect it regardless. You just have to.
I mean, yeah, and I completely agree with you. But at the same time, you have to respect Uraraka for actually, like, knowing her classmates so much, knowing his tendencies so much to know that he would rip up or where he would shoot, and giving him no chance but to shoot low because she stayed low to the ground, strategizing herself in an attempt to prepare that one move. Yeah, she's preparing one move, but at the same time, the amount of strategy and the amount of, like, knowledge that she has about her opponent speaks miles about what she was trying to do there.
Oh, definitely. I can't argue with that. And
but this is a podcast about explosions, so I have to give this to Bakugo and his complete flash of completely. What are you doing? What are you doing? Thwart my plans? Are you? Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm gonna blow everything up.
I'm gonna blow you up.
His quirk goes well with his personality too, where if he's mad, he's just gonna blow everything up.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm counting down the days to where, like, he's gonna explode himself to a point,
which will happen. Will happen eventually.
It probably will. All right. Anyway, that's all I have on my second. So go on to yours.
We cannot have a podcast about explosions without this anime, Hotshot, and you know what I'm talking about. What am I talking about?
Cybermen and Yamcha?
Zankyou no Terror! Are you... This is the softest ball he threw at you. You just... Anyways, no, in all seriousness, I am picking from Zankyou no Terror. Big spoiler alert here, so click off if you haven't seen the anime, or if you don't care, keep listening. I'm picking the final explosion from Zankyou no Terror.
Oh, the major one. Okay.
The major one. This pick is not only because of how incredible this explosion is and the circumstances surrounding it, but also because of the journey. Because, like, the first scene of Zankyou no Terror is 9/12 stealing a plutonium bomb. The last episode is that very plutonium bomb that they stole being lifted up in the air for a high altitude nuclear explosion. And this thing goes up like to the stratosphere, and it's the big final coup that Spinks does. This bomb goes up in the air thanks to what is it? It was like a propeller, a parachute, or something. Just this like balloon basically lifted this bomb up in the air, and finally everyone was freaking out. How do we get rid of it? Like, we got to get all the planes that are like flying right now out of the area and everything. And this was just like this was Spinks's like ultimate letting everyone know what's up with what they got through and everything, and they wanted to let everyone know of their struggles and the secrets with the whole Athena plan. But when this explosion goes off, like, we get a view of the planet from outer space, and we just see this like this, I don't know how to explain, this small red ball just it go off, and then it just rips through all the clouds. There's a complete power outage throughout all of Tokyo. And I was telling this about just a quick side note here. I was talking about this with Kyo. You know how the whole thing with Spinks was like they do these explosions but no one gets killed, right? That was like the big thing with them. Well, what if you're on life support and this thing goes off?
Okay, so they killed about 500,000 grandmas.
You see what I mean, though?
I see. I mean, like, they never do their explosions with the intent of killing, but like there's also accidental blowback to it, to where like life support, or if you bring down a building and like the debris gets on anybody or anything like that. Like there's accidental casualties, to be sure, with some of these explosions, like this one specifically. But at the same time, they never intend to actually kill anyone with what they blow up, right?
Well, I think
I know intention is different than like what they've actually done, but at the same time, you can't help but give them props for never intending harm.
And
like,
what else?
Even though they're terrorists.
Yeah. But just in general, this explosion was I loved this scene so much that I even took the video of it and I redid all the sound effects for it. I really redid the whole sound design of it because it's just such a powerful scene, and the reactions to all the characters we see transition from, Shibazaki to Lisa and 12 outside, 9 who literally goes to like a really tall skyscraper to have a view of the explosion from up above and everything from behind the barrier. It was just a great explosion. Any thoughts, Hotshot?
Honestly, with Second of Terror, like, even though it's all about terrorists and the explosions and their bombs, honestly, what I focus more about on the show is the characters and their journey. So the explosions, to me, haven't really stayed in my mind. I more so thought about 9 and 12 and Lisa and 2 and everything. I think more about the characters than I do about the actual explosions, especially since they don't kill anybody. So I don't really have a whole lot to pull from on this one.
But did you think it was cool? Did it have
it was cool. It was definitely cool. But at the same time, explosions are always cool. So like the one time that I say explosions aren't cool is going to be like just a complete like minor disappointment of an explosion. But I mean, this one with essentially being a nuke. Yeah, no, it didn't kill anybody. So it was awesome.
Yes. So that's all I wanted to say basically on this final explosion. So final explosion, but Hotshot, final pick, Hotshot.
I really should have said final explosion for my third one, but oh well. So this one is gonna be a little bit weird. It's from Panty and Stocking, and I'm saying it's a little weird because it's a lot of explosions, but because they all happen in the same way. So Panty and Stocking are angels.
Wait. Is this some Rasengan BS? I'm picking every single explosion?
No.
Okay.
The only reason I am is because the only reason I am picking basically a lot of explosions, but not all of them, is because they all happen in the same kind of way. Literally, the only thing that's different is what gets exploded.
So it's all the same explosion, but they all happen at different times?
Kind of. Let me explain.
Yes.
So
please.
Panty and Stocking are angels who protect D-City against demonic ghosts, and they do this to get heaven coins to be sent back into heaven. But when they defeat ghosts, so they land a big move on them or slash them up, shoot them up, basically completely destroy them. But when the ghost is getting destroyed, it cuts over to live action and has like a plush or like a stop stop motion figure of their ghost. And then in real life, it actually gets exploded. That's why I'm picking all of them, because it actually happens to every ghost that they fight.
That's intense as hell.
That it actually like has stop motion, like real explosions.
That's
like
just
like in real life explosions. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just crazy to me.
That's why I'm picking this one though, and why I'm picking all of them, because the explosions are basically the same. Like some of them are bigger sizes, but the ghosts like they have different personalities and everything in show. But when they're getting exploded, you more or less get the same kind of experience, I guess. Like, yeah, some of them are bigger, some of them are like different backgrounds, but really it's the same kind of explosion that you're seeing every time. And I completely love seeing the ghost just go boom.
And I know how like maybe people are thinking like, oh, it's just like an explosion podcast, but I feel like these explosions mark important moments in the series because it's basically the culmination of any like action scene. Would that be the same case for Penny and Stocking or not?
Yes and no. Like, I mean, Panty and Stocking is all about like anarchy and chaos, and explosions are a definitive explanation of that, along with like any action film. Like heavy intense fights often include explosions. That's why like almost every single move in Dragon Ball explodes. Basically any action in anime results in some kind of explosion. Meanwhile, in a slice of life anime like say Lucky Star, you don't see much explosions.
Fair enough.
Like explosions are meant for like high impact, high velocity, and high energy shows. You're not really going to see any in a very laid back show where you're just like watching to take it easy.
Right. No, I see what you mean. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. And at the end of the day, I mean, Penny and Stocking it's not one of my favorites, but it's very popular. It's got its own audience. And if these explosions are part of the show and they make it better, like more power to it, you know?
Which, I mean, I mean, we've both come to terms where there are shows that I love, there are shows that you love. Like, I loved 8 Alive, you love Zeku no Terror, you love Death Note, I love Panty and Stocking. It's a two-sided coin here. Like, sometimes you get tails with Jaden, sometimes you get heads with me.
Basically. Okay.
But at the same time, That's why we actually talk about it on podcast, because of how different our views are with it. And on the off chance that we get the other person to watch our favorite animes.
Right, but that'll never happen.
But then they decide that they don't like it, and then you have to change the topic to the last fucking second.
Okay.
I'm not salty. It's fine.
I really want to go to this next pick.
All right, just do it.
All right, this is some Attack on Titan Season 2 epicness. And I love this explosion. And unfortunately, this means there's no data, so we screwed up, but I still wanted to pick this one. Okay, so Historia has a father, and her father and herself are in this cave, and Eren is attached and captured, and basically the Titan shifters, like Eren and all of them, their powers can be transferred from one person to another, and basically Rod Rice, the father of Historia, really wanted her to be injected with the product to become the next Titan. And finally, it doesn't happen, and he ends up ingesting some of the chemicals, and he becomes this fat-bodied, medium arms, and small-leg Titan that just humongous Titan that looks like I don't know, like a cockroach almost. And basically, the way he moves, Hotshot, like this Titan can't stand up, right? He's like Slim Shady. He can't stand up, okay? Okay, bad jokes. Sorry. And basically, the way it goes is that he crawls on the floor, and he goes all the way to the district here is Orver District. He's going straight to this district. It's another village with a wall that's protected by Titans and everything, and it's got survey corps and everything. And because he's crawling on the floor, he doesn't have a face. His face is basically because he's crawling on the floor for like a whole night all the way into the morning, like his face is how can I say, like cut off by the fact that he's like going through the
he's basically grinding his face on the floor, crawling like
exactly.
That, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so the scout regiment, they start shooting cannonballs at him. Nothing's working, and he gets all the way to the city. And the plan that gets devised here is that long story short, they get Eren Titan in an Eren Titan farm. Basically the Rod Rice, he gets up to he starts scaling up the wall, and he puts his arms on the wall, and they have these barrel explosions slam into his hands, and he loses balance. As that happens, Eren has this big pouch with all of this gunpowder containers, and he runs and throws it into the Titan Shifter's body. And because he's like been crawling on the floor, it's all this heat that's consumed inside of him. So this humongous Titan explodes throughout the entire city, and what happens is all these chunks of Titans are flying everywhere. This explosion is ridiculous. It's super tall. It's humongous, and I mean, I've seen some big explosions. I've seen Zanki no Terror. I've seen Dragon Ball. This explosion just it's crazy. It's so well animated, and because there's so many pieces everywhere, and they need to cut off the nape because that's how you kill a Titan. All of the Scout Regiment goes flying throughout the city and just cutting pieces of chunks of Titans everywhere as the explosion goes on. And
it's it's like they're making Titan sushi.
Basically, and it was all. I mean, there's no. I don't need to say this. Okay, I'll say it, whatever, because
I feel like the Scout Regiment has been watching too much Bloodsea.
Yeah, basically, they bunny mode. But the thing is, Historia, because she is becoming the queen, she just is. I won't explain. I'll go into the why. They organize it so that she is the one who cuts the nape, the chunk of skin of the nape, and then the whole village goes, "Oh, she's our hero, she's our savior," blah blah blah. But just imagine like Levi, Mikasa, Armin, everyone just flying throughout the city, like chop, 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 chop. Little, because the smaller the chunks are, the better it is when it comes to them landing in the city where they won't break everything apart. So just. I loved it. I absolutely loved this scene, and I just had to pick it as an anime explosion.
Honestly, like, I know when we've talked about Attack on Titan, I know that I said like they cover a lot of the story stuff in the games, and they do, but I haven't seen that scene, and I really wish I had. I mean, I will at some point because I do plan on watching the show, but I really need to see that in all its glory.
Oh, it's great, Hotshot. I really love this this explosion. It goes hard, and it's a great way to it's a great highlight of the second season. Plus, I mean, I didn't even spoil any third season stuff if you think about it. Like, this is like this came out like 3-4 years ago now, easily. So it's just a great explosion, and the way it's the whole planning behind it. It's about the journey too. Like I said, there was a whole planning by the Scout Regiment behind it and making it happen, and they pulled it off. Like they had those explosions to get rid of the hands, and then when he loses balance, the gunpowder thing. And the thing is, they weren't sure if it was gonna work. They just thought like there's gonna be all this heat concentration, so it would make a gunpowder would make an explosion. They bet on it, and it worked because plot armor, obviously. So all in all, you can't deny how amazing this is.
No, I'm completely backing you up. I'm not denying anything here. It sounds amazing. I just wish I've seen it.
All right. Yeah, of course. Any other thoughts? If not, remind us what your list was.
Nope, I got nothing. So my list was Bakugo versus Uraraka in My Hero Academia, the Panty and Stocking Ghost explosions from Panty and Stocking, and the Vegeta's final explosion in the Buu Saga from Dragon Ball Z.
I picked Rod Rice getting absolutely demolished by gunpowder from Attack on Titan, the final explosion from Zanki no Terror, and my first pick actually, was Naruto doing 1,000 years of exploding tag bombs at Gaara in the forest, and it was great. So that's
It's funny how two of our explosions, like two each, were complete badass, and then one of them was just a what the fuck.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, so Hotshot, any thoughts? Anything else you want to add? If not, go ahead and plug stuff away. I'm hearing some producing noises from your room. So are you cooking anything up?
You're hearing producing noises from my room. I'm finally actually recording gameplay and trying to get Hotshot Gaming back up and going. So hopefully soon you guys will see a video from me, and you guys can find it over on my channel, Hotshot Ginger. You can also find me over on Twitter at Hotshot Ginger. And I still continue to be Jaden's co-host over here on Anime Podcasters. So same three places as always: Twitter, YouTube, and YouTube again.
YouTube, Twitter, yeah. And,
YouTube, Twitter, and YouTube.
YouTube, Twitter, and YouTube. Did you? Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask you after I plug. The artwork for Anime Podcasters is provided by GoProkyo. Affordable rates, super amazing artwork. Go check him out on Twitter at GoProkyo and hit him up in the DMs for some artwork. He's amazing and he's great at animation. So go check him out. For myself, you can find me on Twitter at JaianMusic. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, youtube.com/JaianMusic. I'm going to be looking at new podcast avenues too to add the podcast on different platforms. If you know other platforms, let us know, and I'm gonna look into that during. I'm gonna have a reading break, so I'll have some spare time to do cool stuff like that. And then you can also hire me for freelance services, any audio production, composition on JaianMusic.com. That is my website with my portfolio, my rates, and everything. And finally, Hotshot. Let's what are you thinking topic wise for the next topic? Did you have anything in mind that you maybe would wanna do? Because I have like maybe one or two ideas, so I don't know about you.
Yeah, maybe one or two ideas. What is the one or two ideas?
Okay, so I've been wanting to convince you to watch another anime for a little while, and I've been thinking another list podcast I've really wanted to do, which is kind of stupid. So I have two ideas, but did you have any ideas as to what you want to do, maybe?
Nothing immediately, because I do have one that I want to do, but I want to wait because I need to catch up on it.
Okay, so I propose convincing you to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, because I've been wanting to talk about Yu Yu Hakusho for a long time.
Okay.
Or another list one, and I feel like you're gonna pick this one regardless. Anime Idiots.
All right, let's go for the Spirit Detective.
We're doing Yu Yu Hakusho next?
Yep.
Actually, okay, cool.
On
all right,
one
so next podcast,
condition.
Oh gosh, go.
The
What's
podcast on one condition. The condition of if you convince me to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, we do one that I want to convince you to watch.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, cool.
That's always been how it works. Because I convince you convince me.
I did Data Life last. So yeah, this is your turn. All right, cool. We're done.
One condition: we keep doing what we're currently doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I just want to be on the same page here. All right.
Yeah, we're on the same page with the Death Note. Anyways, we will see you guys in the next episode of Anime Podcasters. For myself, Hotshot, GoProkyo, and anybody else who's listening. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Anime Podcasters. If you would like to support the podcast, you can find audio downloads on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Google Play. If you would like to support the voices in this podcast, follow their links in the description and the Twitter handles on screen. See you next time, leads.